Welcome back to Win Together Live. All right, guys. So we have a huge treat for you guys. This is a showdown between New York Lottery versus Delaware Lottery right here, and then we have the Maryland Lottery right here. So this is what happens when you take a family trip out to Maryland, Baltimore, and this is what happens, right? So I had to test out different lotteries on my way there. So this is what happens. I got some of the Delaware lottery because we crossed through Delaware, and then I got some of the Maryland, a lot of the Maryland lottery actually, because for some reason, based on the odds that I researched on, Maryland Lottery, there's a lot of games that have some amazing odds, meaning like around 2.5, 2.7, as opposed to New York Lottery, which is, 1 in 4, 1 in 3.5, or 1 in 3.9. A lot of these games in the Maryland Lottery do have some amazing odds, especially the more expensive ones. For example, this one right here, the odds in the back say 1 in 2.84, which is already better than most of the games we have in the New York lottery. All right, so Delaware lottery, not as much as great as Maryland lottery. For example, this one right here is a very popular ticket in Delaware. The odds for this one are, let's see, 1.353. So that's why I got less of the Delaware, because I realized, like, hey, this is no different than the New York one. So we got, but I did want to try out some of the tickets from the Delaware lottery. So I got some of these tickets right here. These are apparently the popular ones, and there are a few more $50 ones, but I did not. Actually, I did try to buy the $50 ones, but the clerk messed up my order, and he didn't give me the $50 ones, but he gave me these ones. So it's okay next time. But again, I don't think I'm losing out on much, because $50 is a big chunk of change to lose on lottery at one go. So I decided, to kind of limit my splurge and just try to stick with the 30 tickets. And surprisingly, there's actually a $25 ticket, which I've never played before, on the Maryland lottery. So that's pretty interesting. We are going to test out these tickets in the next few videos. Based on my research, extensive research, these are the best tickets some of the best tickets you can get in the Maryland lottery. This one is a $25 one right here, the $1 million crossword. Over I would say $1,200 worth of tickets right here. All right. So we're gonna see what returns we get. Again, this is a showdown between New York versus Delaware versus Maryland. All right, so I want to see what returns we get on a $1,200 or a little bit over $1,200 spend. I'll count it, obviously. The return that you would get, without any claimers and outliers, would be around 30%, 25% on the New York lottery, which is pretty bad. So let's see how Delaware, racks up to the New York lottery, and the Maryland lottery racks up to the New York lottery as well, and how they rack up to each other. So we are gonna, in the next few videos, we are going to be scratching all of these and seeing what we get versus the New York Lotto, because again, New York Lotto lately has not been great for me. Yes, we won a few outliers, but again, generally you are lucky if you get 30-40% back. 50% amazing, right? And that's not how I would want to play the lottery. What I want is, I want to lose a little bit, but I want to have a chance to win the big one. And that's the idea. I want to see if we lose a little bit, or do we lose the same, or do we lose a lot. So, this way, if the Maryland lottery is just, bounds and, beyond New York lottery, then I would probably do these more, and I will take more trips out there, or I'll try to figure out a way to buy Maryland tickets as opposed to New York tickets for this channel. Same thing with Delaware, right? I didn't buy New Jersey and Pennsylvania. The reason being, even though when you drive to Baltimore, you do pass through those areas. They seem about the same odds as New York lottery, so it doesn't really make sense for me to get some of those, other than, to make a cool video. But again, like I said, we were in Maryland, and the odds for these games are much better than most of the New York games. So we're gonna test it out, see what happens. And yeah, I mean, we got some really cool tickets for Maryland. We got this one. This is the newest ticket for Maryland. It's a $2 ticket, so nothing crazy. We have Festive Fortune. This one is pretty interesting. I'm a big NFL fan, so this is the Baltimore Ravens one. We have the 20x the cash for $5. We have the 100,000 scratch and match. This is the newer game that they have. We have, this is also the new game right here. These two right here, the big spin is a new one, which is an interesting concept. Like if you win there's a symbol you can win, and then you have to actually go to the store to spin the wheel. Or if you get something and then you have to go to the lottery center to spin the wheel and they record it or whatever it is. I guess it's a guaranteed win of something. So that's interesting, right? Bingo times 10. This is an older game. This is the 9th edition of it. So this one also is very popular in Maryland. This one also had some really good odds, gifts of green. Check out the odds, guys. Check out the odds right off the gate. It's so much better than New York lottery, which is 1 in 3.7, 1 in 4. So my hope is that we can win some really nice prizes on this one, as opposed to the New York lottery, right? Because New York lottery lately just seems like it's just a money pit. This one, Monopoly X200, 2.83, like that. Those are some really good odds. If that was in New York, I think people would be going crazy over these. But again, 1 in 2.9 mega money, and a lot of these prizes are still available out there. So that's why I just want to check what we get on a $10 game. The odds are 3.29, which is still much better than any $10 game that New York has to offer, which is insane. 100x 1.315, not as great, but it's not bad. This one is a huge ticket. Look at this. This is such a long ticket. This one has the odds 2.83. Like, that's amazing. This is a $25 game. I never played that before. So we're gonna test that out and see. This one is a more expensive game, $30 one, Ace of Spades. The odds are 2.73. All right. So we got 8 tickets of that, I believe. 200x. I've seen a lot of the YouTubers, do these tickets. So 2.84. And again, these are probably popular for other states as well. So other states also have the 200x game. And this one is a very unique ticket, so I had to get a few. So I got 3 of them. Nothing crazy, but it's a really interesting ticket. It's a huge book. Like it's it's twice as size, 3 times, I don't know, twice, no, 2, so 2 times the size of the regular book, regular ticket, and it's long and it's big. Like I wanna see like how interesting. This game just seemed interesting, and it's a $10 ticket, so we're gonna test that out. Now, as far as Delaware is concerned, we have this one, Summer Dreamin'. I think this is a newer game that they had. $10 ticket right here. Odds for that one are 1 in 3.77. Again, similar to New York. So that's why I didn't buy as many tickets in Delaware, because this odds seem pretty similar to what New York odds would be. But we did get different ones in Delaware, just to test it out. Let's see. But this one actually hit, surprisingly, $20 game, has pretty good odds, 1 in 2.94. So that's nice. This is a $30 ticket, lucky times 50, 1 in 3.53. Not great, right? For a $30 ticket, those are some pretty crappy odds. Similar to what New York games would be, honestly. That's why, like I said, I didn't want to splurge in Delaware, because 1.3.56, right? So like 5.53. So again, that's why I didn't want to buy a lot of the Delaware, because I feel like it's the same as New York. All right. So yes. Anyway, we are going to test out these 2 states. Obviously, we have the New York lottery ones, but we have done so many of the New York lottery tickets that we don't really need to revisit. And for these upcoming videos, because we've done so many and we know what generally we get on those tickets. So like this one right here is a New York ticket, 1 in 3.85. That's horrible, right, guys? Even the 10x ticket that supposedly a lot of people win in it, 1 in 3.91, which is not great, right? So New York lottery, I feel like, sorry, my cat is just bugging out in the back. But New York lottery, I feel like it's just not great lately. It's been a money pit, honestly. So what I want to test out is the Maryland. I want to test out the Delaware, see how they stack up against the New York lottery and how they stack up against each other. So the next few videos are going to be very interesting. This is your sneak peek. So please follow us, subscribe, stay with us with the next few videos. We're gonna start with probably the Delaware one, and then see what we get on those. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Again, please come back. We're gonna scratch out all these tickets. These are insane. Over $1,200 worth of tickets for the for the Delaware and the Maryland lottery. All right, let's see what happens, how they stack up. And this is a showdown. All right, I'm excited about this showdown. We're going to see if we do win more money or not. All right, thank you for watching. Again, stay tuned, guys. Wait for our next few videos. They're going to be very interesting. Bye bye.